Likkle ideas are transformed into big dreams. On the toolkit, and you will access a lot of resources. A lot of the information that we presented here today, there are a lot of activity sheets, so we encourage you to download some of that information. Also, there's a digital swag bag with I can't see my photo, but I guess I can see the, oh my goodness, there's a reason why I can't see it, because I don't have my screen on. Oh my goodness. Welcome everyone. It is another Wednesday and I'm Doreed Whitlock. I'm delighted to welcome all of you to Likkle Byte Ideas in our newest edition. It is Wednesday, April 5th, and of course, it's April, and we celebrate Financial Literacy Month throughout the month of April. We are delighted. We have so many programs ongoing throughout the month of April to bring attention to Financial Literacy Month. But before we get started, let me get my sidekick, my co-host in here, the CEO of Samuel Fields Consulting Group, Megan Samuel Fields.
Good afternoon, Doreed, and good afternoon to all our viewers and listeners today.
Yes,
it's a beautiful Wednesday, and it's Financial Literacy Month.
For sure. And I mean, I was just like, I can't see myself. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't realize I'd taken myself off camera, so I apologize again. I need to get my act together. It is showtime.
It surely is.
And so how has your week been going? I know you've been busy. How has your week been going?
My week has been pretty busy, but busy is always good.
Busy is always good, as we say.
I always enjoy April. April is Financial Literacy Month.
Yes,
so
I am so excited.
It's a packed month for us, but yes, that's good.
And so this is why we're here. It's all about financial wellness, financial literacy. And for those of you who listen to Observer in the morning, we have been having a very exciting show ongoing with Jackie Quinn. Jackie is the best. She does an amazing job. In case you've missed it, at 8:30 a.m. on Jackie Quinn's show, Observer AM, we are sponsoring Financial Vibrations. And essentially, all of these sayings that were handed down from grandma, dada, auntie, the neighbor, little things that they would say, all these words of wisdom, all of these proverbs that are unique to our culture, we are using those sayings, and what we've done, we've translated them into financial lessons. So listen out. We've been getting really good feedback. People really enjoy it. Everybody likes to go back in time to reminisce about the good old days and the advice that we got. Some we took on board and some we didn't. But we're bringing them back because we think there's a lot to learn.
And so,
yeah. So we want to share one with you because we can talk about it, but until we show you, you might not fully get what we're saying. So let us bring up our financial vibration. We will. Okay. So our financial vibration, as I said, we do this every. Megan, you want to take that financial vibration?
Sure. Yes, so today's financial vibration, the local saying is "Nyam some, left some." And there's a lesson there. And the lesson is you must set aside an emergency fund to cover unexpected costs and avoid a financial crisis. So remember, you're going to nyam some, but you're going to left some. You're going to put aside some money for your emergency fund to cover unexpected costs and avoid a financial crisis.
Great. And you know, the reason we're using these idioms, proverbs, sayings, whatever you want to call them, if we give you this advice, you may forget what we say by the time we're done with the show, if not before. But if we say to you, when it comes to your money, nyam some and left some, I'm sure you will agree that it reinforces the message even more, and it gives you, so you have a lot more recall in terms of what the message is, but you can also share it. You're in a better position to really share it with others because you really understand the message that we're sending. So again, join Jackie Quinn every weekday on Observer AM, where she does an excellent job giving you the financial vibration of the day.
Awesome.
Now, for our lineup today, it's going to be in two parts. For those of you who haven't heard, and for those of you who may have attended our recent conference, our TLC, Financial Wellness TLC, we played a game, the 5 Money Musts, 5 to Survive, and we actually got an opportunity to present it at Global Money Week, an international forum. Of course, we went to Italy via Zoom, but it was just as exciting, and there were three other presenters. And so we're going to share a part of that game, a part of that presentation that Megan made today, which also includes a financial vibration. So we're going somewhere with this. And then I'd like to welcome our guest. Let's get her out from the green room and bring her on stage. Miss Michelle Benjamin. And she is the digital officer at First Caribbean CIBC. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm from the old school.
CIBC First Caribbean.
See, I come from the CIBC days. My first bank account was with CIBC.
Yep, mine too.
So, yep, we had a CIBC neighbor.
We did.
So, what was her name again?
Muriel Maxwell.
Muriel Maxwell, yep. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you've heard her name in the bank because she was around for years, right?
That's been so long. Remember Michelle as a young girl.
Michelle was probably nursery school.
Probably. Maybe. Or in the tummy.
Oh, you know.
Exactly. So
that's to tell you how long ago it was. This was before college and everything.
Yep.
So we are delighted to have you here, Michelle. And of course, we're going to be talking about financial literacy, how important it is in the banking landscape. And of course, nowadays, especially with the younger generation, everyone wants more digital tools. And we believe that we're all excited about financial literacy, and we want to learn more about some of the tools, some of the ideas, some of the concepts that we can employ to get people more excited and more engaged in better money management habits. So, Michaela, we're delighted to have you. We're going to have an in-depth discussion momentarily. But before we do that, let us share with our guests the presentation we're so excited about our new game. And just so you know, it's in the beta stage. The plan is to win the lotto so that we can create an app, create a board game. That's the long-term plan, but for right now, we have the ability to play it online. We did play it at our conference, and we'll probably play it on the last Wednesday in April.
Yes.
But throughout the month, we're going to be highlighting the game, and you'll be hearing a lot more about it throughout the next few months as we develop the app and of course, the board game. And it's a really exciting way to get the entire family engaged and excited about money management and, of course, our financial vibrations, our culture. So it's going to be something that's going to be authentically Antiguan/Caribbean, Antiguan and Barbudan/Caribbean. So, Megan, let's get that video. Let's reminisce when we went to Global Money Week.
Again, another interesting project related to gamification, having edutainment, try to involve students, and related also to this topic, we have our last project today, 5 to Survive by Megan Samuel Fields. We have to travel a little up to Antigua and Barbuda. So thank you. And Megan, if you want to share.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Megan Samuel Fields. I'm the CEO of Samuel Fields Consulting Group. We are in Antigua and Barbuda in the Caribbean, a small island, but lots of sun, lots of fun. And I just want to congratulate the persons behind the Angle game. Thought that was very, very interesting, as well as the other persons who are presented. It's very warm, heartwarming to see that there's much going on in ensuring that there is financial literacy and it's getting out to different persons. So I'm going to be presenting a game we created, which is called Set Your Money Musts in Motion. 5 to Survive, Set Your Money Musts in Motion. And this came about from a financial wellness conference that we have been holding. This has been the second year we've held the Financial Wellness Conference, and we wanted to have something quite innovative and fun because we recognize that lots of persons, once we started speaking about finance, they got a little bit misty-eyed and didn't want to get too involved in it. So we came up with a game, the 5 to Survive, Set Your Money Musts in Motion. And it's about a young man named Devon who got some money from his grandfather, an inheritance. And in order to claim it, he had to follow instructions from his elders. Devon is a young man who comes into a financial inheritance, but he has one stipulation from his grandfather Worth, and that is he must follow the advice from his elders about money management through the 5 money musts. 1. Set financial goals. 2. Make a budget. 3. Invest and multiply your money. 4. Manage your debts. And 5. Enjoy your money. Money provides people with a sense of autonomy and the freedom to live their life they want to live. And so what we did was, for each money must, Devon had to find one of the elders in the island and get advice from them. And this is just one. It's 5 money musts, but we couldn't show all. So this is money must number 1.
Devon, listen to me. When you start a business, you have to plan for tomorrow. Where you start is not where you plan to finish. So you can't consume everything one time. You must yam some and left some. You hear me, son?
All right. Well, that is the first leg of the game. And I hope you like it. Send us your comments. We'd love to get your feedback. Those, if you didn't recognize the voice, that was Valerie Hodge of Likkle restaurant. So she's a well-known influencer. And we actually tapped into some of the guests on our show who gave really great advice to be the elders giving the directions to Devon in terms of what he needs to do with his money. And those, those nuggets of information have formed the basis for our financial vibrations. We now have about 25 financial vibrations. We need to get to about 50 for our game. So we'll be crowdsourcing and tapping into your insights as well, because we can't necessarily remember all of the sayings that were handed down to us. And interestingly, different families and different cultures and different areas of Antigua had different sayings, so we don't know it all. So we look forward to you guys coming along with us on this journey, as we want to be one of the first to really crank out a digital game around financial literacy. It's happening in other places around the world. The presentation that Megan made, she was one of 4 presenters who had a game and were doing things that are similar. So we would love, I'm sure there are other interests throughout the Caribbean doing similar things, but we really want to get out there and claim that space and really energize everyone around financial literacy, get a lot of partners like CIBC First Caribbean to take the journey with us, because we all have a duty to ensure that everyone has access to financial literacy.
Yep.
So we really welcome your feedback. Send us your sayings, what you remember. It may not have necessarily been financial advice, but we will find a financial meaning to help convey the message. So we look forward to hearing from all of our viewers about some of the things that you remember and the advice that you got. So before we start our discussion with Michelle, Megan, do we have any comments or questions or feedback from our audience at this point?
Well, we have some greetings. So we have a good afternoon from Miriam Samuel. You know, she's always number 1. So good afternoon, Miriam Samuel. We also have from Lenore Henry Scholar. Good afternoon. I'm listening. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, my sister. Fanny King says, good afternoon, everyone. Fanny's a regular as well. Althea Dyer says, good evening. Good evening, Althea.
Yep.
Another regular. Yeah. And Manelva Samuel says, good afternoon, all. Another regular. Manelva, I know you have some sayings, so please help me with some sayings to add to our financial vibrations.
Yes, we would love it.
We have Junior Ugbu. I think she's just waving her hands. And hi, Junior. And Theolinda. Hi, Theolinda. She says,
hi, Theolinda. She's a regular too.
And we have Wanda Versal. Glad to be here. All our peeps are here. Hi, Wanda. And
fantastic.
Althea Scantlebury says, good evening, all. Hi, Althea.
Hi, Althea.
Sandra Brown Samuel says, good evening. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Antigua Nice says, hello. That's Giselle. Hi, Giselle. Theolinda says, hey, family. Hey, fam. All right.
Okay. So, guys, like I said, feel free to drop the proverbs, the words of wisdom, the things that Granny used to say. We'd love to hear some of them. So we can continue to build our list. So drop them in the chat, and we will acknowledge them. What did you say, Mika?
I was saying for financial literacy, because Grandma said many things.
Well, Grandma wasn't, yeah. And it may not be necessarily relating to money. Grandma may have given advice, but we can find, some of them we can translate them. I mean, some of them, when Granny said, yeah, some left some. She didn't mean money per se, but, we know that applies to money.
Yeah, very true.
Yep.
So keep them coming.
Keep them coming. We definitely want to make sure, like I said, I'm a big crowdsourcer. If it's going to be a game played by people, embraced by people, so let's go to the people to get the information.
So Theolinda says, leave stuff for wet days.
Leave stuff for wet.
So it's like leave things for a rainy day. Save up for a rainy day.
Oh.
Leave stuff for wet days.
Okay, so if it's wet, you can't. You're limited.
Yeah. I'll keep track of them.
Okay, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Even after today, if you have your sayings, you can always send me an email at info@samuelfieldsconsulting.com, and I will definitely acknowledge you.
Okay. So let us get back to our guest. She's been so patient. Again, we are delighted to welcome Michelle Benjamin from, let me get it right, CIBC First Caribbean. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, CIBC came first anyway, so I should just remember that. CIBC was first, and First Caribbean came after. Okay, so that's how I'll try to remember the order.
Okay,
So,
going.
Michelle, tell us, what does a digital officer do? Tell us about your day-to-day tasks. What does your job look like? What does your day look like?
My day is very busy. As a digital banking officer at CIBC First Caribbean, the main task is assisting with the migration of customers to the digital platforms, the digital offerings. So basically, trying to let customers who would come into the physical branch doing transactions now utilizing our digital options and offerings via the app or the website. So that is basically the day-to-day task, assisting customers who are trying to sign up for online banking or the app, assisting customers who are using it and just need a guidance of how to maneuver through it. Also, when we have new customers trying to sign up for accounts, that's also via our online platform, a digital platform. So that's another area where I would assist customers who have credit cards with us and are trying to redeem their points. They also need to utilize an app to complete that process. So basically, everything can be done digitally.
Okay, that's good to know.
Excellent to know, because I
Yeah.
hate lines. I really hate the lines.
Yeah, so our digital offerings start basically customers trying to get information on your account. Instead of doing paper statements, CIBC First Caribbean, along with any other offering of online service, would give you an online statement that you can access, that you can view your statements. If you're a customer who has a checking account and you write checks, you're also able to see the checks that you would have issued. So when the person negotiates the check at their institution, you see it come up on your online statement. The regular viewing platform for the statements go back 6 months. Outside of actually downloading the month statement, or if it is your statements are done annually. So depending on the type of statement profile you have. You can see your personal checking, savings, loan. For the loans, you'll just see the balances, not necessarily transactions going in and out. But for all the other accounts, you would actually see transactions. You also have your credit card that you can view. Being able to see the transactions and the statements. Another good thing with our offering for online banking and the app, because some customers tell you straight out, I'm not doing any financial banking on my phone. I don't feel secure. I don't feel safe doing it that way. So they prefer to use the website, which is fine. That the offerings are basically the same. You are able to, outside of viewing statements, you can do transfers between accounts if you have multiple accounts with us. If you have accounts at other local institutions, you are also able to transfer to other local banks. And all these are free. There are no service fees for those services. Transfers can also be done regionally through the ECCB network. So if it is that Megan has a merchant that she does business with in St. Lucia, she just needs to add that person's account details to her online platform. Say, for instance, the person banks with Bank of St. Lucia. She just adds the person's account details to her online platform, and she initiates the transfer, and it goes. The system would say between 2 to 3 business days. But it depends on the time of the day that you actually initiate that transfer. The customer at the other end can receive it the same day, and there's no fee.
I was going to ask that because I thought there was a fee. I'm thinking, did you see my account? I actually made a transfer about, today's what? Last week, Thursday. to a vendor in St. Lucia, and went through. So maybe you said Megan and St. Lucia. I'm like, hey, she's checking my account now.
Not at all. Not
I
at
know,
all.
of course not. But I was looking for an additional fee, and I didn't see one, and I thought, shouldn't there be a fee? But I got the answer. No, thank you.
No, the only fee for the online service, online banking service, is when a customer is using for international transfers. So
Okay.
so there is.
I was gonna say I did an international transfer and I got a fee. So
yes, international
understand how this
transfers.
works.
Yes, there's a local fee for CIBC First Caribbean, and then there's also an intermediary fee that the customer would pay. So
Right.
most times we would suggest to the customer, when you're sending funds internationally, you cover all the costs
Yes.
so that the beneficiary gets the full amount, bearing in mind that the beneficiary bank can also have a fee that we at this end would not know what it is.
Exactly. And that's exactly
Right?
what happened. I mean, and I totally
Yes.
get it. You have an intermediary bank that has to, the bank
For that service, yes, for that service, you have to pay for.
Right.
You have to pay for that service.
Right.
For
And it wasn't
for-
ridiculous, but it just, I was like, what's this $15 about?
Well, yes.
Of course,
So
and it broke it down.
Yes, you would. First Caribbean has our fee. We have the intermediary bank fees, and then, as I said, some the beneficiary banks might have a fee that comes out. So for transfers, you can transfer between your personal accounts. You can transfer between other CIBC First Caribbean customers. You can transfer regionally or within the Antigua banking system, just bearing in mind, if it is that you have an account at a credit union, the transfer must go through a local bank first and then forwarded on to the credit union. And then the final type of transfer would be the international transfers. So those are transfers all being done without you having to enter the bank.
Right.
Right. So we can move on to bill payments. So that's another big thing. We all have our responsibilities monthly that we need to complete. We have a list of merchants that are on the platform, billers. You would just scroll through, seeing which one you need to add to your profile. And once you add that to your profile, you're able to complete your bill payment. And I tell customers, I've been using our online platform since inception. So APUA has not seen me since that time. And that's over 14, 15 years. Wow. So I just do my bill payment. And just recently, I tried for myself paying property tax. So I paid my property tax via
Really?
Yes, Megan. Yes, I did.
I did not know that you could do that. Which I didn't think because I know you can pay ABST and your taxes.
Yes.
So
yes. When you go to Inland Revenue, when you go to the drop down, it asks you which one of the services for Inland Revenue you wish to make the payment for.
Okay. That's
right.
Good.
So bills are part of it, and the main thing that customers need to take heed of. First Caribbean is investing a lot in the security of these platforms. We have what we call our two-step verification process. When the customer is registering for online banking, your contact number that's on record and file with us must be verified via the system along with a primary email address. So if it is that Megan goes into her online and she wants to add Doreed's accounts in the US to do a transfer to her, she has to be verified via that telephone number. So the system knows for sure that it's Megan who is doing this transfer, adding this person, and not someone fraudulently accessing your profile. So these are things that are there. So customers tend to, I don't know, something with our society, we change our number very fast. So unfortunately, persons are coming in saying, I'm not receiving the verification code. And then when you do check, it's a situation where the number that they're currently using is not the number that we have on file.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that is something that needs to, customers just need to be mindful of that. When you change your numbers, just update the bank so that we can keep everything in order. So that security is in place. You also get alerts when you're using your debit cards. You will get an alert to say your card was used at Epicureum, your card was used at APWay, your card was used at Amazon. If at any time you get these alerts on your phone, be it via text message or email, and it's not a transaction that you're familiar with, you can actually go to your app and freeze your card. So you block that card from any further transactions until you do an investigation. And then you say to yourself, oh, yes, I remember that I did that transaction. So you then can unfreeze the card and continue using it. If it is, however, that the transaction is a fraudulent transaction, you don't have to come into the bank. Just right at the app or on the website, you go and you dispute your transaction. So when the system comes up, you will see all of your transactions that your card has been used for, and you just select accordingly and you submit your dispute for your transactions.
That's
great.
interesting. I did not know that. Did not know
Yes.
that.
So go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so we have that part of it for the security. As I said, you have your alerts, you're able to block your cards, you can complete your disputes all via the app or the platform. Everything here, you're not having to come to the bank and do any of that. You are also you're also able to activate your cards. So when our customers get their new debit cards or their new credit cards, you go right to the app or the website and you activate and you pin your card. And then you go to a POS and you use it. So Dorit, Megan, First Caribbean is really putting everything in the customer's hand. It's not that we don't want you in the branch. We are here to still guide you along the way, but it's more convenient for you. You are basically saving time, not having to come to the branch and wait to get assistance there.
Great.
No, it sounds very first world to me. And I mean, a lot of us recognize, and we were talking about it earlier, COVID, these were all ideas in the pipeline.
Yes.
But COVID just fast tracked everything because I'm telling you,
it did.
Yep, for the 2 years of COVID, I don't know that I physically went to a bank. There's no need for me to go, everything. And then, of course, we have Apple Pay over here. My kids, I talk about it all the time. Everything for them is Apple Pay. I'm not quite there yet.
Well, we have something similar. So let me speak to that. In regards to our credit cards, we do offer reward points. So the points system basically would have been customers using a digital card to redeem your points. You could redeem that via an online store or also via Voyage, which is travel, flights, hotel, car rental. Customers are able to add the digital card to their Apple Wallet or their Google Wallet and able to use those points in a store. So it's a contactless transaction. I did it recently. I added my digital card from my credit card to my wallet, and I went into Epicureum. And when it was time to make a payment, I just said to the cashier, I wish to do a contactless payment. So you just pass your phone over the POS and the transaction went through. So yes, as you said, Dorit, we are getting to that international level, or maybe we're already there. So that the younger generation of customers who are not going to want to come into the bank, they're going to want everything on their phone. We are offering that. As we were discussing earlier, to join the bank, the customer goes to the online platform. So you complete your own application, upload all of your documents. That's the supporting required documents. You sign your application and you submit. We are actually trying to offer an end-to-end process where once everything is done correctly via that digital application, the customer just needs to come and get a card, nothing else.
So with all
Fantastic.
of this technology, and I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the technology. And this month being Financial Literacy Month, how can CIBC First Caribbean use the technology that it has, the apps and other things, to improve financial literacy among its customers? How do you think they can do that?
Well, it's letting the customer be more aware of their finances, because if it is, you have easier access to your finance, your accounts, being able to monitor your transactions as they're happening. Because as I said earlier, you are getting alerts as transactions are going through your account. You're able to see checks as they're coming off of your account. You even can get an alert when deposits going to your account. Like this afternoon, salary was paid, and I got a text message saying a deposit was made. So if the customer has all of that there, it's better for you to know what is happening to the account. And also, we have the first insight, as I spoke to you ladies earlier, that allows you to look at your spending. So you'll see where you're spending your money mostly on a monthly basis, and able to manage your finances.
That's great. I like that. What about, I know in some banks in the States, you can get like a low balance alert. So let's say I think you have to set it up, but if your balance goes below a certain amount, you get
Right.
a note, a message saying, just be aware your balance has just gone below $100 or whatever the case may be. Do you
And it
have
helps. You may have checks in circulation and you're not paying attention.
Well, it's not an actual alert that comes, but we have something that's called a money monitor. So we internally call it like the gas gauge. So you set it where you know if it is deposits go as high as $5,000 on a monthly basis, and then you want to know you don't want to go below say 2,500. When you look at this at your app, you'll see the gauge. So when it's on the far right, it's at the top of your amount that should be on the account, and as it goes down to the left, it's getting to that marker, the lower that you want to keep on the account. So it's not an alert that goes out to the customer, but it is something that is right there on the screen when you're going, and you can set it up so you see it.
Okay. That's
Yep. Well, I mean,
what I'm hearing.
good spending habits definitely contribute to good customers. So I can see how, having these types of services, alerts, just tools will definitely give people a sense of empowerment. They feel like they have things under control, and they'll definitely see their banking institution as part of a system that's there to help them.
Exactly.
Have you guys do you guys have any actual financial literacy programs for your customers at
Well,
CIBC First Caribbean?
not that we on our own. I know each year we participate in the Financial Information Month that ECCP puts on. So
Oh, I
we've
do remember
always
seeing you guys. Yes.
yes, we're always been a part of that. We have different forums that we offer, if it's mortgages or if it's just general loans, that will go out in the media and advise customers as how to go through the process. So we are here to guide customers along the way as to whatever needs they have.
Okay.
What are some of the opportunities that you may be considering for the future? Of course, these things take a while. What's coming down the pike?
Well, we have in pilot stage the M deposit. Persons on the program might be aware that in the US, you're able to take a picture of a check and do the deposit instead of having to go to the counter for the teller, go to the ATM or anything of that sort. Once you have that check in front of you, you take a picture of the front and the back and you process that deposit. That's in pilot stage. I personally use it myself and it works. Outside of that, we are also in hopefully later in the year, we'll be able to offer customers the options. Say, for instance, Doreed came to Antigua. She knows she should have her card, but then when she realizes she lost it, Doreed is able to go onto the app and request a replacement card herself. She doesn't have to come into the branch. Updating information for your personal information on the system. That's also something in the pipeline. And once everything gets to that point with the account process, you already have an existing account with us, you can just quickly go on and get a second account with ease. So as I said, First Caribbean is basically putting everything in the customer's hand. We're here to hold your hand as you go through the process. So don't think that we're telling you not to come into the branch. I like to brag that I have an 89-year-old plus customer who uses her online banking and the debit card, meaning using the ATM ease. She doesn't come into the branch unless something is seriously wrong. And I wish that more customers would be willing to try, because as I say to them,
they have a customer for her.
Yes, I think so. An 89-year-old one too.
Yeah.
Yes. So, well, Mrs. Samuel, she can come at any time and I'll assist her anytime. So tell mom she can just walk across the road.
Oh, she does.
Yes.
For the last time, and then do everything from her computer.
That is what that customer does. She pays her bills, everything. She comes to the machine. And one thing with First Caribbean, we have one on island currently, but we are hopeful that we'll have others at other sites. We have a smart machine where once the customer goes to that smart machine with EC Cash, the cash is accessible right away once a deposit is made. So that's even easier for us. Say, for instance, you wanted to purchase something online. You don't have to stand up in the queue to make that deposit to say you need immediate access to the funds. Just use the smart machine and the funds are available to you right away once it's cash. So I tell customers, I have the patience. You just need to have the patience and you're willing, and we can get you onto our digital platforms, be it using the actual app or website, or just going to the ATM with your debit card to take cash. When we started the process of migrating most of our customers to the debit cards, of course, you'd get the more senior customers kind of, saying, oh, I don't want to. But I say to them, once you come to the branch, just call on me. I'll take you to the machine. And I've gotten customers now. I see them and like, oh, you don't call me. She said, I'm good. I know how to do it. So it's just for our culture, our society to realize that digital banking, digital financing, this is really where the world overall is going, and not to be left behind. You just need to have that will to try, and you would get it.
And especially with, as we mentioned, COVID, to me, I wouldn't want to be caught the way lots of people were caught with COVID. We couldn't go to the bank, and then when we had the short window, the lines wrapped around the buildings, and oh my goodness, it was so just the thought of that should encourage everybody to try and become more digitally savvy.
Yes, and the offering, even for, say, for instance, you have an account at another financial institution and your salary is sent to First Caribbean, you can set up a standing order, recurring payment that's debited from your account here at First Caribbean and go across to that other account on a monthly basis without you even having to look back. Once the money's on that account on the day that you set it up for, the system automatically pulls it out. You can do the same thing with bills. So as I said, CIBC First Caribbean online offering is a lot. It's easy to use. It's very user-friendly. Once you're willing, we are here to assist you through the process.
So the standing orders, there is a fee for that?
No, Megan. Remember, the only fee for our online
I know back in the day there was a fee for standing orders.
No, so you're doing it. No, so you're yes. So it's
once I set it up, and have it as a monthly, a recurring standing order
payments.
from.
Yes.
That is great. That is great. So there's really no need to come into the bank.
No.
Unless we want to come see you.
Well, yes, you know, a question or two, but in terms of your daily banking needs, that's not needed. You have everything via that website or that app.
So I know that from what some persons have said to me, one of their concerns, and this is not specific to First Caribbean, it's just digital. One of their concerns is how secure is the system. And I had a conversation with someone just a few days ago, and they pointed to instances where financial institutions here in Antigua have had situations where they had massive fraud.
Breaches.
The persons were breaches. Yeah, that's a better word. And so how do you get around that? I understand the two-factor authentication and all of that, but how do you get around that in explaining to someone or in convincing someone that online banking is secure? And or at least if you're measuring it, because nothing is 100%, you weigh that against carrying around a load of cash. How do you deal with that?
Well, I will go back to that one-time verification code, the OTBC, because for me, you are being alerted as transactions are happening on your account. So if it is you have the online service and you're getting the alert, you're knowing what's happening compared to not having the online service and not knowing what's happening. And then at some time after, you might hear in the media that such and such institution had this breach, or you went into the bank and you're seeing a difference in your account. You're ahead of the game with the online banking, that you know immediately what's going on with your account. And as I say to customers, not because you have the online banking and you might not be putting any monies in or taking any monies out, you're just going to not go in. Maybe if not on a weekly basis, every 2 weeks you sign in and just check to see, you know, what's going on with your account, and keep a faith of
every day. If it's your app, it's a 5-second thing, you just pop.
Well, yes, the younger persons for sure, because you know they're the ones who are using their debit cards and spending more. So yes, for sure but the seniors, I will give it to them that they're not necessarily going to sign in on a daily basis. So as I continue to hold their hands and pull them along with the technology, I say to them, just sign in ever so often, to check to see, because they're going to come and ask, did Social Security pay? Did Treasury pay? And, so I'm like, instead of you having to come all the way to the bank to ask if Social Security or Treasury paid, just sign in and you will see that your pension was paid to the account. And unfortunately, there's a delay in payment. So sometimes you're not sure if you're current. So you can look at your statements to see, yes, I've gotten for the last 6 months. If you didn't get, or why am I not getting, then you remember, I need to go and sign my life certificate. So it's easier for them. The culture is, I want to come and talk to you in the bank. I want to give my money to someone. I want to take my money from someone, because if I do that and something goes wrong, I have someone to blame, basically. So
here's the thing too. You have to remember, some of these older folks, going to the bank is a part of their social life,
Exactly.
So
yes, I agree with you.
You're not going to get them to change that. That's when they see
so. If you have money,
you.
It means that you're in a certain category. So it's a status symbol as well.
I think it's a lot.
It says something about you.
Meet somebody every month. Hey, I'm becoming your man. Long time to see you.
That is exactly it. But we encourage them to use the options. First Caribbean's ATMs give customers a daily withdrawal of $4,000. So if you can get that much from the machine, you really don't need to come into the branch. It's not that we're going to, especially our seniors, we're not going to tell you no, but our first option with you would be try the ATM, use that option, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. So I think overall, what I'm hearing you say is persons just need to be more vigilant. You have the app on your phone, check it. If you get an alert, check to
Yes.
see what's going on.
Correct.
Be vigilant because,
Correct.
and I like what you said, you're actually ahead of the game having the app as opposed to not having it, because things could be happening with your account.
Correct.
And you don't know.
Correct.
But at least
Because
having the alert, you're ahead of the game.
Yes, because as you go through our setup process for online banking, you're getting alerts, a text message is coming in saying to you, your password has been changed or something of that sort. So as I say to the customer, if you are actually in the app or on the website and you're seeing these messages, no panic, because you know that you are in the platform, you're using it. But if it is that you're not in the platform and you are getting these alerts saying to you, your password has changed or something was added to your profile, at that point, you need to contact the bank as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Just to give a little story, I had a senior, for years, he avoided, I kept saying to him, sign up for online banking, and he's like, no. Then he eventually signed up, and when he signed up one day, he was home, and I think he said he was on the website, and he got a phone call, and when he got the phone call, it wasn't any local voice, any accent that he was familiar with, and the person was saying to him, why did you stop? Continue. So what it was, actually, he was on his email, received an email and clicked on it. And when he clicked on it, there were certain things that the email was asking him to do. He started, and then he said to himself, no, the bank is not going to ask me for that information. So that's another thing that customers need to be very aware of. The bank is not going to ask you for your personal information, your password, your user ID, anything via email or over the phone. So after he realized something was not correct with what was being requested, he said the phone rang, and he heard this voice, and the person is saying to him, why did he stop? It was unfortunately someone who was trying to defraud him. Don't know how, right? So he was at that point able to check his account. And even though he checked it and everything was fine with his account, the speed he came to the bank to look for Michelle, oh boy, oh, thank the Lord I signed up for that thing, but I still come in to check from your end to make sure everything is okay. So as I'm saying, he had it, he was able to check, but just for his comfort, he still came to the bank. But if he didn't have it, he would have, on his way to the bank, been very, nervous trying to figure out what was happening there.
Wow.
So customers just need to be mindful. The banks are not going to call you or email you and ask you for any personal information associated with your account, associated with your online profile, because we would have what we need. So if it is that you contact us, there are going to be certain things that we would say to you to verify that we're actually speaking with our customer. It's not that you need to be giving us these things to verify you.
Right.
So we have some questions. I don't want the evening, or our show to end without some of these questions being asked, because I think they're quite important.
That's why we're here.
I'm going straight to one that I think is an important one. Well, they're all important. And Ricky Moore says, can I open an account on the app or on the website?
So you would go to our website. So this is a part from our online banking website. This is actually CIBC's CIBC First Caribbean website. So the website would be www.cibcfcib.com. Once the customer goes to that website, they scroll to the bottom of the page and they will see the apply online for deposit account link. Once you click on that link, the customer is asked to register themselves. Once they've completed registration, which also goes to the two-step verification, getting a code via your telephone number, getting a code via your email, then you accept the terms and conditions and the application opens up. The customer then chooses the island, the branch, the product that they wish to have, the different type of accounts, and you populate your personal information, your employment information, how you'll be operating this account on a monthly basis, uploading your documents, passport, proof of address, and source of income document, if it's a employment letter, a pension letter, and you sign the application and submit it. Once it's submitted, you will get an email advising you that the application has been submitted and you would be contacted. As I said, we are in the process of trying to complete our end-to-end application where the customer doesn't even need to come into the branch to complete the account part, would just be to sign for getting your card.
Okay, and so, same Rocky Moore, he's saying we need to simplify the account opening and maintenance process for the diaspora. So
Yes.
what you just mentioned,
Yes.
what you just mentioned, is that what someone in the diaspora can do as well?
Unfortunately, customers in the diaspora might have a challenge in terms of creating an account. So the account needs to be requested from our end here. So some customers do try to sign up from that end and they would receive an error message. So
I'm
it
not
is
understanding.
basically,
Is it
okay,
that
so
because they
go
are
ahead.
doing it from the US or the UK?
They're requesting, right, they're requesting it outside because
Of the
for
Caribbean?
now, right, well, in Antigua per se, because at this point, remember, you still need to be here to complete the process. We're not at that stage where everything is totally, you just sign up
But is
and
that
go.
something you are considering?
Honestly, I
You
cannot say.
you might not be the right person. I get
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes, but that's for now, that access is not available for someone signing up with outside of, when I say Antigua, it's the location of your IP address tends to create that issue.
Right.
Okay. So are you saying if someone from who lives Sodiri comes to Antigua, she can physically come into the bank or use my laptop and she can apply?
Right. So she can complete the entire process via the online and go through everything like if she was here, basically signing off on her application. Then she would be told when to come in to finish it off if that's required, or if it is that she's lucky that she's uploaded everything correctly and everything is fine, she will just be told to come and get a card.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And there was another one that I thought was very interesting to ask. Yes. The banks need to provide WhatsApp contacts for people in the diaspora. WhatsApp is encrypted and safer than regular cell or landlines. Again, I don't know. This may not be something you can answer.
No, I don't think that this is one that I would be able to answer. It's something that I can take away to management. If it is the customers thinking that the landline is not safe enough for conversing. It's just that if a customer is not here, where we're able to physically interact with you and you need to provide documentation, the documents would need to be notarized and provided to the branch. So I'm not sure if they're thinking providing documents via another means.
Okay.
Well, it certainly sounds to me like there's an opportunity to educate the diaspora about how these things work. I can tell you it's a sore point. I mean, people always complain. And so it may help at some point if the financial institutions in Antigua maybe did a forum like this to educate those in the diaspora why certain things need to be done in person, the frustrations are many.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of people who want to do business in Antigua, they have interests and what have you, but it's definitely a source of frustration. And I think it's because of, a lack of knowledge. as to how it really works and what's required. So I hear an opportunity, Megan, down the road for us to perhaps have some kind of forum that educates people in the diaspora as to why things happen the way they do, and maybe start the dialogue in terms of are there things that the bank can add or expand to make sure that piece of the business is taken care of.
Well,
Yeah,
one thing to just note, I'm sure, Deirdre, you go into a bank, or if you use the website or the app, however, and your account is established in the US, it's much easier than trying to complete that process here. And that is also because the financial institutions at this end, we have to make sure we're keeping our regular commitments in order.
Right.
So whereas you can walk into a bank and just sign a document and you're done, we need to make sure that we have everything that we require from you to be on record, so that we are following the rules.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think it's just a lack of understanding. I think it's, I just think people go to Antigua, people in the diaspora, they go to Antigua, they expect the bank looks nice, the AC works, everybody looks professional, so they're just assuming any services I get at Bank of America, when why can't CIBC do it? The bank, they look like the cards look the same. You guys look like you're offering first world services. What is the big holdup? So I just think I just see a void. It's a complaint that I hear repeatedly
all the time.
I just see a void, and Megan, I'm sure too, with clients.
Yep.
That come looking for legal services. That too is a problem in terms of getting money transfers and setting up an account. And more and more people want to be able to have a lifestyle where they have bank accounts in both territories. They may own property, they may want to start a business, they want to start an Airbnb, they want to travel more. So for me, I hear opportunity.
There's definitely a void.
Huh?
There's a void. I was saying there is a void, and it's something that needs to be addressed.
And I understand what Michelle is saying. There's some things that are out of their control.
Absolutely.
But I think if these discussions happen, the folks in the diaspora will understand the challenges that local banks are facing, the type of compliance that you need to adhere to. And so when you hear that something can't be done, it's not personal. It's talk to the government, talk to the ECCB, it's not the local bank.
This is what our show is all about, Likkle Byte Ideas. Perhaps by bringing the diaspora and the banks or the financial institutions together, perhaps there can be some solutions.
Absolutely. Some workarounds. It may not be ideal,
yes,
but once you understand what people's goals are and what they're trying to accomplish, right, it can start the discussions about solutions.
So we're going to get it done.
What I hear a lot is a lot of frustration, a lot of anger and resentment. And some people feel that there's resentment to the diaspora for whatever reason, because the discussions and the dialogue is not in place.
So let's talk about this offline, Dereed. Let's see how we can get this going.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it would probably be worth bringing a few banks together.
Oh, absolutely.
A couple of representatives, and what better time to do it than Financial Literacy Month, or at least to plant the seed. It may not happen this month.
Yes.
But that might be something that we can. I definitely have an in with a lot of the diaspora groups, and I know there are a lot of people that would be, interested to hear more about some of the solutions. And if a particular bank is willing to offer services that are more tailored to the diaspora, trust me, that becomes a business opportunity that sets you apart from all of the other banks.
So Rekimo wants your number. Is that something I can provide?
Yes, the contact number would be 268-484-5122 or
484
5122.
5122. Oops.
Yes, preferably contacting via email. It's Michella, Michella .Benjamin, Benjamin at cibcfcib.com. So that's Michella.Benjamin at cibcfcib.com.
Okay, great. Believe it or not, we are so past
Easy.
our time, but this has been an excellent show. Michelle, thank you for
Thank
being
you
so
so much,
patient
Michella.
You're
in
welcome.
imparting
Thanks
the
for having me.
information.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And you're an absolutely fantastic ambassador for your organization. You know, for many banks, the struggle is in developing and implementing programs with the digital solutions. And I think a lot of banks are doing that. The challenge, though, is how can they continue to scale it and to convey to customers the value that they get from it. And so you, of course, talked about some of the challenges in terms of, the ease of use. I mean, selling people on it, the ease of use, the security, and all of these other things. So I want to thank you for spending the time with us today. I certainly have a better understanding as to some of the digital solutions that are available in Antigua, and it sounds like we're definitely on the right track. Megan, do you have any closing words?
I'm excited to see the new offerings that you're having. I wish I were one of the persons on the pilot program with the check deposit, but
I know you mentioned that your husband was a part of it, so
I know
we're getting it there so that we can roll it out to all the customers. Because I'm telling you, if it is, you can do that. You have the ATM and you have your online access. Why is it that you're going to need to come into a bank?
It's just the check
I
deposit
totally
part
agree.
I need. So, but I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you, Michella. You were very, very forthright with your information
and comprehensive.
Very much so. And I thank First Caribbean because CIBC First Caribbean, it's, to me, you guys are doing a lot. And I like the fact that a lot of the things you do are free.
Yes, and just to state that
other banks.
Just to state that the online access is not just for personal customers. Our business customers also have the online access with all of these offerings.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, so it's not just a personal banking aspect. Our corporate customers enjoy the same services via their platforms. So if it is that any customer is thinking of creating, that business that has that perfect solution in terms of online access, we do business cards for the business customers. So you'll have a debit card that's also embossed in your business name, separate to your personal. We have it. So use the options. Yes. So we would have Megan Samuel Fields.
Samuel Fields Consulting Group.
Right. So the card would be embossed in both names. So you would have the personal name and the business name. So just
on
utilize
one card. That makes sense.
Yes. Okay. So the business customers can also utilize the same website to create their business accounts. That's for small business. And if it is that anyone has any interest in a corporate account, they can email me and then I can refer them to one of the corporate managers.
Fantastic.
What an ambassador. Thank you so much, Michella.
Megan, who do we have on next week? Very quickly, if you have that information.
Next week has not been finalized, but we are trying to get someone from the insurance sector next week.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, just so everyone knows, throughout the month of April, as we celebrate Financial Literacy Month, we're looking at the financial sector and trying to bring in spokespersons that represent some of the various subsectors in the financial services industry so that we can educate everyone about financial literacy and the types of services that are in place to enhance their money management skills. So today was banking, and of course, if we can get insurance next week. I know we're also going to talk to the credit unions.
Yes.
And then what was the final one that we were going to talk to?
The final one, we're going to be launching our game. It's going to be us and our game.
So I thought there's another sector. Okay, great. And then, of course, we have Teach Children to Save Day,
Yes.
which is on April 27th. And we will be going to some of the primary schools. We did it last year in conjunction with some of our partners. We're already talking to the Antigua and Barbuda Cooperative League as one of our partners, and some of our credit unions as well. And we invite you guys at CIBC, if this is something you want to be a part of, we definitely want to get more representation among our youth. Youth financial literacy is so key. They're building habits, and this is the time to really get them that education. So I know we're way past our, the time just kind of crept up on us. We were doing great on time, and then it was 6:10. So I just want to thank everyone. Continue to tune in to Observer AM to get the financial vibrations. Send us your own financial vibrations. We'd love to add them to our list. Of course, recognize your contribution to it, to our list. And we just want to say continue to celebrate with us this month, and not only increase your knowledge and your understanding of financial literacy, but be sure to bring someone along with you.
Absolutely.
So we still have lots of comments coming in, but we have to sign off. Mika, do we have time for one or two more and then we just jump off? What do you want to do?
I'm just let's cut it, but I just want to end by saying Nyam some,
left some. Like Jackie said the other thing. Jackie said, "Nyam all one time."
Nyam all one time.
It sounds like something our mother would say.
Left some. Oh yes.
Yeah, nyam all one time.
All right, folks.
Okay,
so
then,
until we see you next week, have a great week, and
much.
Continue to enjoy Financial Literacy Month. Thanks again, Michelle.
Bye, everyone.
Best to you and your
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.